said, yeah, okay. And that's what I did. And I started having a flashback. Then I heard Curtis say, he said, oh yeah, my, well, yeah, 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 well. LONNIE Jordan from the band War, and you are watching Pavlina's Kid Place. Peace.
Hey everyone, it's Pavlina from Pavlina's Kidz Place, and we are here in New York City at the BBKINGS, and I am here with the founding member of a legendary band, War, LONNIE Jordan. How are you doing?
Great. I'm in New York, all the way from California.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like the across the country, you know,
Yeah.
big jump and everything. How's today going? How was like prepping for the show? Everything.
Oh, you're kidding? And my wife and I went walking. I can't even imagine. I can't even begin to tell you how many square miles we walked
Oh my
today,
gosh.
which was good for us because of the fact we were in quest for raw vegan food. So
Oh my gosh, yeah.
and we found it. And it
Yes.
woke us up even more like coffee, and then we walked all the way back. So
That's crazy. Yeah, my mom and I have been getting some serious cardio in, like
Yeah.
7 miles a day, because you know, like why take a cab somewhere? Just walk it. You know, it's like it's better. So, and vegan food's great. That's amazing.
and
Like
cardio. Well,
Yes.
a good diet, as far as your food consumption, and of course cardio work hand in hand.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. That's cool.
And I have to say, at 67 this year, I have to say, I've been blessed.
Yeah. That's
And being blessed also means eating blessed foods that are live plant-based foods.
Yeah. So, are you like vegan? Are you like full on
I'm
vegan?
full on vegan.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you're gonna have to help me out. I'm vegetarian. Okay, I've been vegetarian for like a long time.
Yeah, a lot
But,
of people get
yeah.
that confused, vegetarians and vegans, and
They
they have
do.
to
It's
understand.
like-
Yeah, vegetarians is that you're still on dairy
Yes.
or sugars,
Mm-hmm.
and salt and stuff, or chicken or fish.
Yeah.
And vegans are definitely not eating mother's kids or animal secretions or
Yeah.
dairy or any of the white powders.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
Oh my
so,
gosh.
Yeah, but a lot of people say, well, you're not having any fun. I do drink wine. And that's
There you go,
about
that's
as
having fun.
much sugar, red wine,
Yes.
much sugar as I have, and I'll have 1 or 2 glasses of wine, and I'm good to go.
Yeah. The 60s, I know, right? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. The 60s were such like a dynamic period. And so like War is such like a bold name to have then. So what was your part during the 60s, and I guess like kids during the 60s and everything, what was like something that they didn't understand, or like how
I wasn't
yeah.
a kid during the 60s. I was
Oh,
not a
yeah.
kid. I was already old. Jeez, I think I was, well, yeah. I think about 1967, I think I was 18 or something like that. Yeah, I guess I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Smoked a lot of weed,
Oh. Yeah.
drank whiskey,
Yeah.
wine, anything I can get a hold of to get a buzz, and if you didn't get sick from it, then you weren't enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also I enjoyed a lot of music that was going on then. I loved listening to James Brown. I loved a lot of R&B, Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett. I mean, the list goes on. Solomon Burke. Then I was also listening to country music.
Oh my gosh.
I love listening to who was I listening to? Roy Orbison. I was listening to Earl Grant, and I listened to a lot of Ray Charles, and I listened to a lot of Latin music back then that was available. Before Fania All Star, the Fania label came in play, and that began out of New York. So we couldn't get any bootleg music, maybe a few
Yeah.
in LA. You got to understand, I'm from California. So living in California, we didn't really get a lot of bootleg Latin music unless you knew someone.
Definitely. Now, I love the 60s. That's like probably like my favorite decade. So how is music then and then now? Like how is it different and everything?
Well, the recording for sure, the stories, and then and again, Not really, because a lot of the stories today in a lot of music, and I used to blame hip hop, rap music being the same as the blues
Yeah.
back then, which it is, because it's all an experience, like Jimi Hendrix said.
Yes.
Or you experience, and he played a lot of blues, you
Mhm.
know, and but the only thing that changed about the music is a lot of younger people your age have grown up and have gotten older.
Yeah. Yes.
And the music industry has changed totally.
Yeah.
And the technology
Mhm.
has changed. So that's the difference. And the mentality has changed. You
Yeah.
know, as far as people, what they want to write about, and they don't hold anything back, whereas we tried not to hold a lot back in our writing, but and when we didn't hold anything back as far as our lyrics and our
Mhm.
music, we got disbanded. You know,
Yeah.
they wouldn't play it on the radio. You know, like for instance, we had a song called Magic Mountain.
Mhm.
And today's world, rappers that covered that, besides a million other rappers who covered our music back in the 80s and 90s, uh, covered one of the Magic Mountain. That was the first song that was ever covered by a rap group.
Yeah.
And that was De La Soul who covered Magic Mountain. They call it Potholes in My Lawn.
Mhm.
And what happened was the radio said, well, we can't play Magic Mountain because it has the word ball in it.
Yeah.
And not only that, but Magic Mountain, the park wasn't even
Mhm.
created then. And all of a sudden they said, no, this is the A side, Magic Mountain. Let's turn it over. Let's see what's on the B side, because Eric Burton is the lead singer. And the B side would Spill the Wine.
Yeah.
So that was partly what we were going through as far as you know, they weren't trying to sabotage us. It's
Mhm.
just that we kind of tried to push some buttons. We didn't try to push buttons. We were just being us.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
were from the streets,
Mhm.
war,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
and we were like pretty much rebelling against wars.
Mhm.
So we were the good guys,
Yeah.
but they tried to make us the bad guys, you know. So we didn't want wars, you know, going on across the pond,
Mhm.
you know, or in our own backyards.
Yeah. Exactly.
We were stressing war for peace.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
that's all, and we showed it in our music. And we were just like mainly troubadours, trying to let the world know what was going on around them. That for those who didn't know, that were stuck in a four-cornered room, which we wrote a song called Four Cornered Room
Yeah.
too. But we were just trying to let people know that the world is a ghetto, not just your world.
Mhm.
You know, and don't go out there and start doing anything bad, and you know, slip in the darkness, and you know, you may not be able to come back on that road, because there's too many of us dying as it is, going to war. You know, your baby brother, which is another song.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can go on with a list of our music, and like the group Rage Against the Machines, we were
Yep.
rebelling against war, and that's what our music was about, and that's how. As much rebellion as we got, that's how much altitude we were able to give as far as the 70s was concerned.
Yeah. Definitely.
Today, we would have been okay.
Yeah.
But back then, you know, for a group like us, a mixed group too,
Mhm.
multicultural group, I mean, that was not heard of.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
So for us to be rebelliant too, that was like two strikes against us.
I actually, the last time I was at BBKINGS, I interviewed Gary U.S. Bonds, and he was,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
he's pretty cool.
A quarter to yeah.
Yeah, so he was telling me,
How old are you?
17.
Okay.
But he was telling me about like difficulties that he had, you know, during, you know, his, you know, high time and everything. Like he wouldn't be able to go into hotels. Like, you know, he would be snuck into the
Older than
hotels.
I am, yeah. He, unfortunately, people like himself, Little Richard, James Brown, Wilson Pickett, all of those, that was what they had to put up with even
Yeah.
before them. Billie Holiday, you know, Nat King Cole. It's just, we didn't have to really go through that. I mean, there was prejudice, you know, when we would go down south, but at least we can go in the hotel.
Yeah.
We did get a room and with where everyone was able to go. But once you came out of that room, you still had some backstabbers. What are you doing here, boy?
Yeah.
So, but that was okay. It didn't bother me. You gotta understand that I didn't grow up down south,
Yeah.
and I wasn't. Uh, I never had any issues that made piss me off that made me want to kill anybody behind it or anything like that. But I have had some issues, seeing how people treat other people because of the skin color.
Yeah.
How people really change, how scared they are of other people's skin color is no different from an alien coming from another planet.
Yeah.
And that's how we all treat each other. It's not just white against black, it's also black against white.
Definitely. When he told me that, I was just like, "What the heck? Like, you weren't allowed into the hotels? That's crazy."
That's the way it was. Yeah, they were not. They had to go to either a basement or somewhere else that had nothing to do with the hotel. Like they call colored people go over there. That's what it was. Yeah, white people, they never changed their name.
Yeah.
Black people, they changed from Negroes to coloreds to black. And our name is Rainbow. So hey, yeah, we became the rainbow, and with all textures and rainbows of colors. That's what we are.
Tell me about your song "Why Can't We Be Friend" and "Lowrider." That's like a huge song, like George Lopez. Like who does
What about it?
Just like
No, I tell you. Well, "Why Can't We Be Friends" was one of the songs that came out of the disturbance of people with each other. Again, what I was telling you, about colors and territory.
Yeah.
And actually, we were playing in Japan when we pretty much when that song was striked up. The original guitar player, Howard Scott, came up with the lyric, "Why Can't We Be Friends?" And I was on piano, and that's all we had.
Yeah.
And that was because there was a disturbance out in the audience, and that was Japanese and Koreans and some other Asian humans
Yes.
that were territorial about Japan.
Yeah.
And they were fighting just like what we were doing back in the 70s, black and white, and maybe Mexicans, And so they were having their issues, and we just said, wow, why is it everywhere we go, we always have to be on hold for about 40 minutes because people fight? What is it about us? And then we realized it's because there's a multicultural amount of people coming here to hear us play, and they're all possessing us, territorial, like, they're our group. No, they're our group. No, they're our group. They're rockers. No, they're R&B. No, they're Latin. No, they're reggae. So that inspired us to write this song, "Why Can't We Be Friends?"
Yeah.
And Lowrider, of course, pretty much grew from Dobie Gray's "I'm in with the in crowd." You know that?
Yeah.
And so we were watching the Hispanics like really take pride in their lowrider cars. And so we just said, we're going to write a song about the lowriders, and we're going to do the film. That's when we started doing the film. And we went to East LA, and we pretty much filmed the Dukes and then their rival car club, not gang, car club, was the Imperials. So when we made this song, they knew who we were, and we were filming them, and we gave everyone, they were the first to have us, did I almost say CD? Not even 8-track. They had cassettes of our music because that was after 8 tracks.
Yeah.
And maybe they still had 8 tracks. I think they did. Some of them did get an 8-track for their car.
Yeah.
And they played it, and we filmed them, and they were playing it loud in their car. They were the first before the radio even had it. And that brought them together. And that was the good thing, and that just inspired us to start writing more peaceful songs. If we could bring them together, and bring people together that fight out there, and we still, before we went on to play, and we were still able to go out there and make, bring peace with everyone out there through our music.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you, Pavlina.
Yes.
Pavlina. Okay, I got it.
That's right. But me,